Here we are halfway through taking up the old red deal floor. People often ask, what is beneath my floor? Sometimes people are concerned about rodents and so on. So I said we just shoot this little video. So as you can see, what's beneath the floor is called a crawl space. It is literally half a metre deep, and all that's down there is earth. That's it. There's generally no concrete, and it's dry. It's dry as a bone. The reason for this is that they're in all these old Georgian and Victorians, they have an air vent at the back and front of the house, and that air vent keeps the entire house dry. If you ever block the air vent, then you'll have stale air and mold. So even though these joists could be maybe 100 years old, they're dry as a bone. The dirt is dry as a bone, and you'll see the air vent. If you can actually see here, I can actually feel the breeze, and if you can see the pieces flowing with the breeze, and that is absolutely critical to the life of the floor. If we block that air vent either front or back, the wood would go mouldy, joists would collapse, and the house would go mouldy as well. You'd have rising damp. In relation to rodents, the vents at the front and the back are actually too small for rodents to get into. I've never seen a case if there was rodents. We'd have rodent droppings, we'd have crisp bags, we've had stuff that they eat, which has never been a concern. I've never come across it. So don't ever block the air vents. And what we're going to do is we're going to insulate from here up to here, roller insulation there, airtight membrane here, damp-proof course down there, and we're going to let this house breathe underneath forever. As I say, if we did block it, then we're introducing damp. So the air will always be underneath. We're just insulating the home from it. One of the reasons for the insulation, obviously, if it's -2 outside, the air that blows in is -2, and the air that blows up through the floorboard is -2. So hence our need for insulation. Here we have all the floor up in the first room in our Georgian house. So an update video, we have our breathable airtight membrane, vapor barrier down already. We also have our airtight tape against the rising wall plate, so we're ensuring that there's no air coming from the floor underneath. And the important thing about this video that I want to show is we don't do anything with the floor underneath. It will always be a void. It will never be filled. We don't put concrete down. We don't put a sheet of plastic down that would sweat it. We just leave it breathe. So you can see underneath here still is the way it was 200 years ago when the house was made. All the wood, all the wall plates are still perfectly intact. They're lovely and dry. This wood is lovely and dry. If we do anything, it will sweat the wood. And what we're doing, the wood is still exposed underneath, so it is still breathing. But our airtight membrane is closing off the room, the habitation area, from what's beneath it. I've put a bit of insulation in here just to show where the insulation will go, and then we'll put our airtight membrane on top. So this is a breathable vapor control layer, insulation, airtight membrane. The actual airtight membrane will actually overlap, and we will tape it as well. And then this will go from wall to wall with another layer on top. But the important thing that we do is you don't affect anything in the crawl space. It's good for 200 years. We need it good for another 200 years, or at least 100 while we're here. And you'll see when they built the house, you'll see the, if I can show you, there you go. They wanted the air to breathe. So as they built this rising wall to support the floor, they've simply knocked out to allow the air to circulate from the front of the house to the back of the house, or the back to the front. And that is what's critical, and that's what's kind of hard to understand, that you're not doing more down here. But all we're trying to do is leave this breathable and insulate the habitation area where we live in the house from what's beneath. And that's what we're doing at RH Insulation. Here we are continuing on with our Georgian floor insulation project. As you can see at this stage, we have we've all the insulation down between the joists, and the white that you see in the video is the final airtight membrane that goes on top. As you can see, everywhere you join it, you must put down airtight tape, and everywhere around the periphery you put down your airtight tape as well. At this stage we just have the last two corners to do, each side of the fireplace, airtight tape around. Once the membrane goes down, then we're going to get the floor and put the floor back and refloor this room, skirt this room, sand, stain and varnish this room. So we're at the closing out stages of our installation project. So here we are at the end of our installation job in Dublin 6. As you can see, we have all the old floorboards back down. The client asked us to sand them and put on a dark stain, so they're all sanded, stained, varnished. In fact, you never know that we have a damp-proof course there. We have insulation and an airtight membrane underneath. The floors are they look fantastic. They suit the period of the house. They are the original floors. So another job well done at RH Installation Services.